Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing an Autism Awareness Collab with Crafty Mama Diaries. Hey, Helen. So we decided that we would do mini albums in celebration of our beautiful children who happen to also be on the spectrum. And I am going to do something a little different today. I'm going to show you what I made first, and then I will show you a little bit of how I made it. So I made a mini album to celebrate my son and all of his amazingness. And I wanted to highlight for him like some of his achievements and, all the ways we love him. And I am going to give him this mini album on Mother's Day. I'm also going to make one for my daughter. So I kept the outside really basic and simple because I thought he'd be storing this away, and I wanted to keep it so that it was easy for him to do that. So on this side I have like Keep Climbing Mountains, him and my husband in Colorado at a summit of a mountain. And this is us playing board games together at church and his karate achievements. This is an envelope that has a note in it about following his instincts, because at 3, right here in this picture, he knew Santa wasn't real. He had figured it out. He had decoded Santa. And, it's him with his sister and cousins helping us put in a stone sidewalk. He's very faithful. He brought me back to church, in fact, and so I wanted to highlight that and how much he loves Lego and building. And I really just wanted to celebrate my son. Being on the spectrum means something different for every child, but they're a child first. And I think our achievements, I think we figure this out maybe at some point as adults, but our achievements in life aren't about our jobs or all these goals that we can reach, but it's how we interact with the world around us and how we express our love. I feel like that is where a lot of our worth comes from. But I just wanted to highlight him and make sure that I had a concrete way of showing him how amazing he is, because self-confidence is something we're still working on, and I work on it as an adult. This is him in Jamaica on family land drinking coconut water straight out of the coconut. And I wanted to include pictures of him at all ages, so he's been absolutely fantastic and a blessing in our lives from the first day he arrived. And back there, I'm just showing that that's a big pocket so he can add things. My son's extremely sentimental, just like me, so I know he'll want to add things. In fact, I left a couple of flaps without anything on them so that he could add pictures himself or notes or anything that he wanted to add to this book. So that is my mini album that I made, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I can't say I used to scrapbook. I scrapbooked once 15 years ago, but I did 7 mammoth scrapbooks. And I haven't done it since. So I don't know if you guys watch Helen over at Crafty Mama Diaries, but she's a scrapbooker and a card maker. And really just watching her videos, watching her scrapbook really inspired me to get back into it. And I felt like the most approachable way to do that was through a mini album. So I watch another YouTuber, I think her name's Jessica, I can't remember, I'm sorry, but it's PinoStrawberryz is the name of the YouTube channel. And she makes a ton of mini albums. She's so inspirational. I really love her style. And so that's where I got this idea. It's not my idea, But I took an envelope, popped off that metal piece, and this is the base of my mini album. Then I grabbed a older paper pad that's from my stash that I thought the patterns really just made me think of my son, and I thought it was something that would be timeless for him, that in 10 years, if he wanted to pull this album back out, you know, the patterns would still be appealing. And I used lots of scraps as I went to make my different tucks and folds. And that's what's really fun about this kind of approach is, okay, you have to measure certain things. You can't just wing it on all of it, or at least I couldn't. There were certain things that I had to measure along the way. But for the most part, you can wing it on a lot of your panels that you insert. So this one, for instance, is actually going to be a flip down from my main base. So I'll show y'all what I mean. I'm just taking this precious picture from our travels, and I am making this little flip down base. And I'll show y'all how I attach it. If you want to see like really detailed instructions, I'm going to leave a link below to PinoStrawberryz, and you can go over there and you can watch her give a beginning to end idea of how to put an album like this together. And the cool thing about her tutorial is that she didn't use an envelope like I did. She actually built her base out of scrapbook paper. Anyway, so I'm gonna send you that way for like a really detailed tutorial so you can see it from her. But I'm just winging it here, playing around. And you can see that I put the hinge for this originally on that right side, but by the time I had my album done, I had it back on a different side, on the left side. So, you can just play around and have fun. So I had these two envelopes in my stash, and I pulled them out, glued them together, and am making a hinge this way, and that way I can have pockets. And sometimes I'm gluing paper down, sometimes I'm using tape runner, just whatever gets the paper adhered. I don't think it really matters. And I did like reinforce my envelope pockets a little bit more. But this was so much fun. I had a blast making this album, and it just filled my heart with joy to just sit down, gather these photos of my son, and celebrate his awesomeness and how much I love and adore him. And, this is a gift that will keep on giving to him, I feel like. And, I'm sure you noticed how I wrote, like on this piece, I created a white border around so I could write around the picture. Definitely, I had thought about, well, I could type all this up and it would probably look cleaner and more presentable. But this is a handmade gift, and I kind of like that I had just written the things I wanted to say on it. I also like that I can write letters to him and more private things and put it in the envelope and tuck it in. And so I'm really loving this design. All right, so I'm going to show y'all here just kind of how the construction goes. So I had my flaps constructed separately, and then I just used the envelope piece and adhered them to the main piece. And this is my little flip down here. So because I knew that I was going to cover this envelope both front and back with patterned paper, the way I hinged all of these really doesn't matter because they're going to be covered. And that's the great thing about this design. It really does come together quickly too. So I already had my pictures printed because I've been wanting to scrapbook for 10 years. And I haven't gotten around to it. So I have seriously a huge cardboard box of printed images that just sit there waiting for me to do something. And so I already had a bunch of pictures printed. I just had to go through, find them. And then, even though this is my first time to make this album, it still just took me like 2 hours. And I think that that's what makes, for me, mini albums so much more approachable than doing like a huge scrapbook, is that in 2 hours, I was able to capture so many sweet memories and wonderful times for our family, and to, celebrate the love that we have for each other. And so it's really a gift. It's a gift in so many ways. I'm so happy that that we did this. Thank you, Helen. Thanks for inspiring me to get back into scrapbooking, because, this kind of thing is something that will last. Hopefully, that it'll be with my son for some time, and that it'll bring him joy. That's my hope. So right now what you see me doing is putting my covers on. So I wanted everything to be covered, especially because I'm not using like any kind of plastic to cover my pictures or anything. I put a lot more tape on that than you think, guys. I know it just looked like 2 little swipes, but that whole thing's covered in tape. Anyway, so I wanted a cover for this book to protect the images and the flaps and everything. So this is my Dollar Tree Velcro, which is amazing. The quality, the price, everything. You shouldn't pay more than $1. This stuff works great. So I'm just going to put this on in 2 different places to keep my mini album closed and secure, but yet easy to get into. So that's it, guys. This is the mini album. I really appreciate doing the collab with Helen, and especially for something that's such a meaningful and special topic, and something that we share in common. We share a lot in common. She has seriously become my crafty BFF. But please go over and check out her channel. Check out what she made. I can't wait to see what she made. We're keeping it a surprise. And also, go, if you want to make one of these and you want more detail, go check out PinoStrawberryz. I'm going to leave both of those ladies linked below, so you have a direct link to them. And I really appreciate you. I'm going to do a little more memory keeping probably on my channel, even if it's just for a few weeks. But it's something I enjoyed so much, making this album, and I need to do more. Like I said, I have a huge box of photos to work through. So I'm definitely going to be diving back in. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I always appreciate hanging out with you guys in the comments down below, and your kindness and encouragement means so much to me. It really keeps me going, and I'm so grateful. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.